Hi, welcome back to my channel. I am Leo's Harmony, and today we're doing a pick a card on just a general reading. This deck I don't think is very YouTube friendly from the design on the back. So I picked 3 different cards here and I'm gonna just show you them. And then you can kind of pick what you ever feel is right. And then we're gonna move on to the reading. So I'll give you time to do that and then we can get started with your reading. Okay, pile 1, so you got the card that says Lantarki Mace, and it says peace. Maybe you're trying to find peace, maybe someone is trying to bring you peace, or maybe your life is about to fall into like a state of peace. So I'm gonna pull more oracle cards and get more information before I move on to tarot. So let me go ahead and do that. So you got 2. Your first one is Spirit Has My Back, with spirit guide, protection, superior help, and reassurance. Your second one is Let's Create, with manifestation, willpower, and manipulation. So it seems like your guides are really wanting to let you know that they have your back, that they're here to help you, that they're not, going away. They're not gonna like leave you behind or anything like that. They're here to help and they have your back, your protection. They're gonna help you in any way that they can. And it also seems like they want you to make something. So manifest in some way. Or with the peace, it's maybe even um, starting, you know, a period of peace with manifestation. So that could be like one thing that your guides want you to do. But let me pull more oracle cards from a different deck. So you got the card Birth. So it's interesting how you keep getting cards that talk about creation as well. Birth can be like a new thing, right? And in this case, I think it is relating to this card that deals with manifestations. So it really does seem like there is a need for you to create something right now. Let me see if I can get one more from a different deck. You got 2 cards. So your first one is the Groundhog Spirit, and it says time to let go. Your other card is the Parrot Spirit, and it says watch your words. So for some of you, maybe you are being a little, in this fighting spirit with someone, and your guides are kind of telling you to like stop, because it's not helping you in any way. For others, I think it's just a matter of your guides telling you to like kind of let things go and move on and create a period of peace, um, so that you can be a better version of yourself, so that you can manifest a lot better, um, tap into your power more instead of like having this period of like anger, because that's probably affecting you very negatively. So let me pull some tarot cards to get, the full picture, and I'll be right back. Okay, pile 1. So you got the Sun, you got the 3 of Swords, the 9 of Swords, 6 of Cups, and Judgment. So it seems like maybe um you're going through a period of very like negative thoughts and emotions, and maybe you're just very lonely or depressed or anxious or something like that. And your guides kind of want you to snap out of it. They want you to bring back like a period of peace and like of sound mind. The sun here, is always like a very wonderful card. It talks about joy, it talks about like happiness and all of that. Three of Swords, Nine of Swords. Three of Swords can be about like a heartbreak. Nine of Swords can be about just like depression and anxiety. And these two here are basically saying that maybe you went through a breakup, but maybe you also just kind of feel lonely. And I feel like that's really causing this period of like anger sometimes with your words. Um, but it doesn't necessarily mean that you are like this, huge negative person that doesn't like want happiness at all. I think you guys are just trying to tell you that you need to be careful with the way that you talk. Because I think talking, words here came up, is a part of your manifestation. If you keep saying something negative, then that's just going to bring you more negativity. And your guides want you to be careful with that. They want you to say something more positive, more peaceful. They're trying to let you know that you need to let go of like this old habit, of this old version of yourself, to bring in something new, like birth. Let's create. Six of Cups and Judgment here, is a period of like more happiness. And Judgment can also kind of talk about how you're knowing like right and wrong, right? Because this is kind of like Libra energy, where you're like weighing in the negativity and the positivity. And it is time to let go of that negativity because the scales are so into the negativity right now that you're off balance. You need to be more positive with yourself and life and everything around you. And that's what your guides kind of want you to know here, because you need to be in a period of more energy of like the sun or the Six of Cups, where it's more happiness, rather than a period of Three of Swords and Nine of Swords, which is more about sadness. So it's interesting how we kind of got two negative cards and two positive cards here as well with the Judgment. And if you notice, the negative cards here are surrounded by positive cards. And I think that's your guide saying, like, I do have your back. Like, we are helping you with this. We're not going to let every negative thing that you say come true. Like, we're going to try our best to prevent that. But there is a need for you to put in the work as well, because your guides can only do so much. So you need to make that change as well, so that you can enter this period of peace that you need in your life right now. And that's what your guides really want you to know. I don't think you're, you know, doing this intentionally, rather than you're doing this as a result of this here, this negativity that doesn't serve your highest purpose. People do get depressed and anxious, and sometimes they have thoughts that they wouldn't think if they weren't depressed and anxious. And as a result, it's twisting your power into something it shouldn't be. But your guides are trying to help you with that. And you should have faith in them that they're going to help you. But you need to have faith in yourself that you can make that change and you can snap out of this, right? So that you can live life more peaceful. You can be more free. You can be more happy. And then maybe then you can kind of get what you want from life. Because, being in this state of negativity isn't really going to bring you anything positive, is it? It's just going to bring you more negativity. Maybe you'll miss signs of like something that you've been trying to manifest, that you've been wanting, because you're too caught up in your head with this negativity here about like, oh, I don't care about this, I don't care about that anymore, even though you've been trying to manifest it in the past. So it's your guides just saying to kind of snap out of it because it's not helping you at all. And they're here to help you. Like they know this is difficult. But let's pull some more oracle cards and maybe we'll get more information. Your first card here is Journey. It says branch out to new worlds. So again, it's talking about like moving away from the old into something new. And that's just reinforcing this whole thing here. Where you have to like let go of the past. You have to let go of this negative emotion to bring in this like positivity here. Let's pull a few more. It says trust. The robin trusts her wings, not the branch that she sits on. So for you, I think this is more about trusting the process. The branch that you're sitting on can be symbolic for this, like the negativity here. And you need to use your wings to kind of fly away from that and fly into something more positive. And your guides are wanting you to do that because that is what's best for you right now. You got flow. It says, go with the flow as water trickles down a stream. Do not hurry. So, you know, for some of you, this isn't about doing this immediately and doing such a drastic change. Your guides are saying you can slow down and take this one step at a time because this is difficult. This isn't easy, and that should, be fine for you to do this slowly. But as long as you're making the effort, that's when things kind of fall into place and you're doing what you're supposed to. But that is it for your reading, Pile 1. I hope this message found you well. If you did like it, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And if you have any suggestions, leave them down below. And if you would like a personalized reading, my Etsy is linked down below. But thank you for watching. Hi, Pile 2, welcome to your reading. So you got the card Uwa Aljana, and it says Beyond. So what I'm kind of getting from this is that there's more that you're not seeing. There's maybe more coming for you, or maybe you're limiting yourself to something. Maybe your manifestations are very limited, maybe your goals are very limited. And your guides are saying you can do more. You can do more, and you're limiting yourself a lot. But let's pull some more oracle cards and get more information. You got gold. It says eyes on the prize, opportunity, financial freedom, and alchemy. So obviously, this is a very good card. And I feel like, again, your guides are saying you can do so much more than what you're limiting yourself to. What's interesting, I don't know if I should cover that up, but that's okay. uh, is that there's a pile, of dung there with animals on their like backs towards it, and they're not really noticing that there's gold in it, which is interesting. So maybe something you left behind is what you're not really seeing. But let me pull more oracle cards. So you got the card Spring. This can be symbolic for a period of time. So like the months of spring, which I believe we're still in right now. Or it can be about growth. Because spring is a time of growth where flowers kind of bloom. So for some of you, this can be about how, if we still are in spring, which I believe we are, or maybe it is summer already. So next year in spring, um, will be the time where like you kind of receive everything. If not, then this is about growth for you. But let me pull one last oracle card from a different deck. It seems like this card wants to come out. So it says be peace and dove spirit. For some of you, I think this is talking about the period of peace where you kind of, you know, get what you want, where you're more happy, where you're more aligned with your true purpose. But let me pull one more. So you got Panther Spirit, and it says reclaim your power. So what's interesting is that, the need for you to kind of go beyond came up. The need for you to like kind of not limit yourself, came up here. A period where you're kind of not thinking right because you're like, oh, this isn't really necessary for me. Like, oh, I don't think I need that, or I can't achieve that even, right? And your guide just saying, no, like, you can and you will, basically. Like, this is meant for you, and you're kind of letting it go. And I think in letting it go, it's almost like you're letting that opportunity go, but your guides aren't letting you do that. It's even though you want to do that, your guides are not letting you. Your guides are saying, no, reclaim your power. Like, this is meant for you. And we're going to keep it there until you do. You need to turn around and you need to look at what you left, what you don't think you can achieve, because that is something that's meant for you. And it is something that you can do. You just need to look beyond. And that is what they're trying to tell you. And, again, like I said, for some of you, this can be something that you'll get in spring if that is meant for you. But let me pull tarot cards and I'll be right back. Okay, Pile 2, you got such good cards here. Such good cards here, and I cannot emphasize that enough. You got the Emperor, you got the Sun, Eight of Pentacles, Queen of Cups, and Nine of Cups. So with the Emperor, I think this is more about reclaiming your power and building up confidence. The Emperor, this elephant here is standing so firmly, like on the ground that he's standing on, or she, they would be a better word. Um, and they're, you know, so confident that they're like, this is my land, and no one is taking it from me. And they're confident that they can win. It's kind of like, you know, the king of the jungle type of stuff, where like the lion is known for that energy. And it doesn't have to be, male energy. It's more just the expression. But that's what that card is. And I think it's your guide saying to reclaim your power. With the sun, it's talking about joy and like everything in life that you kind of want, right? And your guides are kind of wanting you to be in that space because what you are letting go, it's this basically. Because you don't think you can achieve that, but you can. With the Eight of Pentacles, like you're learning. You have to learn how to build this confidence and you have to learn how to not let opportunities go that you should be like having, right? You're letting them go and you're losing a lot of happiness because of that. A lot of potential happiness. With the Queen of Cups, it's like you need to use your intuition. You're not using your intuition enough. And I feel like a lot of that is because you don't think you can achieve that when you can. Like you definitely can. And the Nine of Cups is basically like, oh, you're receiving everything. Like here, you have so many options to choose from. You have this and that. And you're learning how to be more confident. You're learning how to be, you know, a better version of yourself that can and does believe that they can achieve everything that they want in life. And your guides are wanting you to not let go of opportunities that they're trying to give you just because you don't believe that you can do it. You should go for them, even if you don't believe you can do it. And soon you'll realize yourself that, yeah, I've been letting this go. And I always thought that I couldn't do this, but here I am now. Here I am, happy in this life that I've been always dreaming of. And I thought I couldn't achieve this. But until I took that kind of leap of faith, I didn't know that this was possible. So your guides really want you to try, even if you don't think you can, so you can prove yourself wrong. So you definitely should go for the things that you think that you couldn't. But let's get a few closing cards here. You got the card Forbearance. It says, do not be deterred by the thorn amidst the roses. You are the thorn here. Like you're keeping yourself from happiness, like you're holding yourself back. And your guides want you to stop. Like you need to be more confident with yourself. You got be like the woods, calm, soothing, mysterious, and full of life. So maybe you're worrying too much about stuff. You're overthinking. The ideas that you have or the opportunities that come your way, and you're like, no, like, ooh, I'm kind of getting an iffy feeling about this. I don't think this is meant for me. But I think your guides want you to learn the difference between anxiety and intuition here. And you're confusing the two a lot. You're confusing your intuition with your anxiety, and you're keeping yourself from opportunities that your guides are trying to give you. And that's preventing you from like actually getting what you want from life. The last card here is retreat. It says, spoil yourself in the morning mist, breathe in nature's sweet scents. So, in a way, this card is also talking about self love. And maybe that is something that you're missing and why you're letting so many things go because you're not confident enough. But in another way, this card can be seen as like the end, and how this is basically the result. Queen of Cups, Nine of Cups here, retreat. It's kind of like a vacation, right? Like you're going to a retreat and you're going to be a much happier version of yourself. So, this is something that you will work on. I think your guides are going to like force this on you regardless. If not, then it'll stay there, right? Like they're going to wait for you to do this regardless of that. And if you do believe in reincarnation, then this is something that will be repeating for you until you learn it. So you might as well start now. But, finishing this little journey that you'll be on will basically give you the life that you want. So I wouldn't hold back at all. I would really get started with this. Like, there's so much positivity here that you're missing out on. Not that you're negative right now at all. I think, things are fine for you, but like it can be so much better. You can be so much happier. But that is it for you, Pile 2. I hope this reading found you well. If you did like it, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. If you have any suggestions or readings that you want, leave a comment down below. If you would like a personalized reading, my Etsy is linked down below. But thank you for watching. Hi, Pile 3. Welcome to your reading. So you got the card Omo, which also mentions family. So for some of you, this can be a reading about your family. For others, it can be about, I find that family kind of relates to like comfort. So this can be more about like home comfort rather than in general. But let's pull some oracle cards and get more information. So you got the card Quantum Field. It says source, endless possibilities, and opening. So this doesn't give us a whole lot of information. So let me pull more from different decks and then we'll probably talk about that. You got New Moon here. There's something starting. And maybe it does have to deal with family, but there is something starting here for you. Let me pull one more from a different deck. Again, interesting that you keep getting things about creation here or something starting. You got Crow Spirit with co create with Spirit. Let me get one more. You got the Beaver Spirit with lay a solid foundation. So there's something about a need for you to create stability in your life. And, you know, this can be about family. This can technically be about home as well for some of you. But they're not giving a lot of information with the Oracle cards. So I'm going to pull tarot and I'll be right back. Okay, pile three. So you got the Six of Pentacles, you got the Nine of Swords and Judgment paired together. These fell out at the same time. You got the Page of Wands, you got the Eight of Cups, and the Lovers. So with the Six of Pentacles, this can be about giving and taking. When it's, I think, in relation to these two cards here, it's kind of like you felt like you have to give to something or to someone, maybe even family. And, they kind of took this for granted. And I feel like you were so, with the Page of Wands, you were excited to kind of like help them. You were excited to help them and like be there for them. And with the Eight of Cups, you're realizing this isn't right. This isn't how I should be treated. And I need to walk away from this. With the Judgment here, with the Nine of Swords that talks about, this person here, it's kind of like setting your foot down. Like, battling between, you know, the scales of like, this is right, this is wrong. And I think you're slowly realizing that this cycle here, I think, if we separate that, this is kind of like a cycle here where you're giving, but what are you receiving? What are you really receiving from this? Is it really something that also kind of helps you? Or are you doing this? Are you giving out energy to maybe someone in your family that isn't really there for you in the way that you need them to be or the way that they should be? And with the Eight of Cups here, it's like you have to walk away from that. You have to walk away, and you know that you do. And with the Lovers, it's basically saying this will allow you to find love. It doesn't have to be other people, it can be love for yourself. Because this cycle here is hurting, and you have so much love for this family member if this is about that. It can also be a friend that you see as family as well. But this cycle of like giving something to them, and what are you receiving? Like nothing. Even though you're so excited to help them because you're like, I'm such a good person, like I really love them. Um, I want to help them, but like, what are you getting from that? Nothing. And I think with you realizing that, you have to learn how to love yourself and put yourself first. This is why you're getting so many cards about making something new, right? Quantum field, which says opening. New moon, which is about something new, right? Learning. And then crow spirit with co-create. So you're creating something with spirit. But then you get the beaver, which says lay a solid foundation. And is this foundation solid for you? You know the answer. You know it's no. So there is no reason for you to question what you have to do, right? With the Eight of Cups, it's you're filling their cup, they're not feeling yours, you either talk to them about this, try to find a solution, but if this is something that keeps repeating, then let that go. Don't put that much effort. Because what are you getting? You're just, constantly filling up their cup. They're giving you crumbs, and nothing is happening for you. In a way, this is like hurting yourself because you are chasing this admiration from them, this happiness from them, because you are so fixed on them not being super happy with you, them treating you kind of badly. So every time you do see like this little spark of positivity, you're like, oh, there is hope. There is hope, and I really want this from them, so I'm going to keep doing this. So it's like reinforcing this bad behavior of like, I'm trying to chase this happiness from them, and I'm trying to make them happy even though they're not that way. And your guides are basically saying that you need a solid foundation in your life. This foundation has to be yourself. And then you can kind of, go from there about how you want to be treated, how you want to treat other people, and don't let them take advantage of you. This reading was confusing at first, but after these tarot cards, it's pretty clear. Um, for some of you, this is very specific, but if more than one person watched this reading, and you know that they're kind of like family or really close friends, and they watched pile one, this can be about them if you watch this pile. So let me pull a few closing cards here. You got uncertainty. The shades of gray within the fog will eventually lift. So you're not sure what to do. And I feel like you kind of know the answer, right? But you're not really sure of like how you want to proceed with everything. But that'll eventually go away. Music. It says there is a melody to be heard in the deepest parts of the woods if only we listen. So music can be healing for some of you. Maybe it's time for you to like listen to a couple songs. Like when people work out, they get really pumped up with music. In a way, music can maybe heal you and like make you figure out what you don't know, right? This mystery that you can't really make a decision on. But for others, this can be about meditation as well. If you meditate with a meditation music, maybe you'll find some answers. And that can be a sign for that. You got retreat. It says spoil yourself in the morning mist. Breathes in nature's sweet scents. So what's interesting about this pile is that I think you got cards from both pile 1 and 2. So maybe you can take a look at them and find more information. But with this one, I think it's more saying to focus on yourself. Focus on yourself rather than other people because you kind of need to. Like you've been focusing so much on trying to please other people that you kind of forget yourself. Like Six of Pentacles, give and take. What are you taking, right? Take doesn't necessarily mean a bad thing. Like you can take, you're receiving something rather than taking. You're receiving love, you're receiving care from someone, things like that. But there is a time for you to give to yourself and kind of receive that. So there really is a need for you to learn that balance. But that is it for you, pile 3. I hope this reading found you well. If you did like it, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. If you have any suggestions, then leave them down below. If you would like a personalized reading, my Etsy is linked down below as well. But thank you for watching.